The night was cold, the kind that made the air feel sharp and heavy. On a quiet stretch of highway outside a small American town, a young woman stood trembling beside an old bus stop bench. Her voice cracked as she whispered, "Just do whatever you want." She wasn't talking to strangers who meant her harm, she was talking to a group of riders who had pulled over because they saw her shivering alone in the dark. But fear had lived inside her for so long that she couldn't imagine anyone stopping for any reason other than danger. Their engines quieted one by one. The leader, a tall man in his 40s named Cole, stepped off his bike slowly, removing his helmet so she could see his face clearly. "We're not here to hurt you," he said gently. "We just want to know if you're okay." But the girl, no older than 19, backed up instantly, gripping her worn hoodie with both hands. Her eyes were red, exhausted, and afraid, the kind of fear that comes from months, maybe years, of running. Her reaction puzzled the group. It wasn't often they saw someone so young, alone, and shaking on the side of the road at night. Then she whispered again, "It doesn't matter, just do whatever you want." That was the moment that broke every heart in the group. Before the story continues, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Story Sphere for more emotional stories that warm the heart, inspire kindness, and remind us that compassion still matters in this world. Cole raised both hands slowly, as if approaching a frightened animal. "My name's Cole," he said calmly. "These are my friends. We ride together, but we help people too. We're not here to scare you. Can you tell us your name?" She hesitated, then whispered, "Emily." One of the riders, a woman named Harper, stepped forward. Her voice was soft, warm, and motherly. "Emily, honey, we're not your enemies. You're safe with us. Are you hurt?" Emily shook her head. But when she did, her hoodie lifted just slightly, and Cole noticed something printed faintly on the inside of the fabric. It looked like a shelter's intake tag, the kind used by youth centers when someone checks in wearing clothing donated by the facility. IT wasn't a brand, IT wasn't a mark, IT wasn't anything harmful. IT was simply a quiet clue to a painful truth. Emily was homeless. When she saw Cole's eyes soften, she panicked and grabbed her hoodie tight. "Please don't judge me," she said shakily. "I don't want anyone to see. I don't want anyone to know." Harper stepped closer and placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "Sweetheart, you don't need to hide that from us." But Emily couldn't stop shaking. Finally, with a fragile breath, she lifted the edge of her shirt just enough to show the faded writing, the number of a youth shelter she had been in and out of for months. She thought they would laugh. She thought they would walk away instead. Every rider's heart cracked open. "Oh, Emily," Harper whispered. "You've been trying to survive on your own." Emily nodded, tears falling. "I didn't want to be a burden. I didn't want people to think I was weak." Cole crouched down so he was eye level with her. "Asking for help isn't weakness. Being out here alone, that's strength." She looked at him, confused. No one had ever said that to her before. The riders gathered around her in a wide, gentle circle, not trapping her, but protecting her from the cold and the dark. They asked nothing from her, they demanded nothing, they simply offered warmth, food from their saddlebags, and a ride to safety. Harper took off her own jacket and wrapped it around the girl's shoulders. "You don't have to face the world alone," she said softly. "Not tonight. Not anymore." For the first time in a long time, Emily's breathing began to steady. The fear in her eyes faded, replaced by something fragile but real, trust. That night, they took her to a community center where Harper volunteered. They stayed with her until she felt safe enough to sleep, and in the weeks that followed, they checked on her, helped her enroll in programs, got her new clothes, made sure she had food and a warm place to stay, not because she asked, not because she owed them anything, but because kindness is something that grows stronger the more you give it away. In the end, Emily learned something she had never truly believed before. There are still people in this world who stop for strangers, who care without reason, who choose compassion instead of judgment, and sometimes, the ones who look the toughest are the ones with the gentlest hearts. If you'd like image prompts for this story or SEO description plus keywords plus hashtags, just tell me.